Hey, welcome to Mixed Signals. I'm your host, Cedric. This is a real watershed moment for us today because I don't even feel like doing this shit. So if we can make it through today, we might just have a future.
Mixed signals, yeah, 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 yeah. Mixed signals, yeah. Mixed signals, yeah, yeah. Mixed signals, yeah. Mixed signals, yeah.
Okay, so welcome to Mixed Signals. This is episode 3, Raising Kids, the subscription you can't cancel. All right, so as a kid, I didn't have a lot of stability. Going from house to house, parent to parent, um, spouse to spouse for my parents. You know what I mean? Some of us know what I'm talking about. Um, and because of that, I craved that stability as an adult, right? I went from here, I went from there. I got kicked out of the house at a very young age. So just wanting to have that stability for myself and create that stability for my children, it was something that I craved, something that I really wanted to do. The one thing that nobody tells you is stability is expensive. And that's our mixed signal right there. Stability is expensive, right?
Mixed signals.
Being a parent is exhausting. I mean, exhausting. Like, I see why my mama took naps. And if I'm being honest, I ain't even really that good at it. I'm just doing the best I can. I realize that's what we all are doing. I apologize to both of my parents as an adult because I realized we just doing the best we can. And that's all we could really do. But I'm trying to put my kids in situations to succeed. And that's tiring, right? And they don't even appreciate it. All the extracurriculars, the pickups, the drop-offs, the practices, the games, the weekends, the weekdays, all of it is tiring. And the funny thing about it, when I was younger Cedric, I thought that this is what having it together looked like, if I'm being 100% honest. Now, I just want a break from it all. And not like a vacation. Because if you ever took a group of family on vacation, you need a vacation from that shit, for real. Right now, for me, just being able to turn off, reset my batteries, like that's what I crave. That's what I want. Let me get a nap. Let me get 30 minutes in where I am just uninterrupted. You know, I be seeing people meditating, self-care, Zen rooms. When? How? Where? You know what I'm talking about? Let me tell you about a funny story about setting these kids up to succeed, right? And this is just a general observation. I want to preface with that. So, my daughter plays basketball. My middle daughter, Rain, she plays basketball. She's a shooter with the name Rain. That's appropriate. Wasn't on purpose. But Rain plays basketball, and Rain plays for 2 basketball teams. She plays for one team in our area, which we live outside of the city. She plays for a team in our area, and they're called the Ballers. And on this team, I never, ever question the girls' effort. They got heart. You know what I mean? They got a lot of heart. They never give up on a play, never take no plays off. But when it comes to skill, there's some opportunity there. I think that's reasonable in saying that. As opposed to that, she plays for a team in the city called Della Lamb. And I want to put this into perspective. Like, this is in the city, and I'm from the city. And this is the city. Like, when I lived in the city, I ain't even always want to go around this area, if I'm being 100% all the way 1,000, right? Della Lamb, if you Google her, if you look her up, she was a community activist for immigrants, women, and children. And this community center has been around for like 100 years, right? So Della Lamb, for the community, for the culture. This team is called the Running Angels. And It's in the city, so needless to say, these girls run fast and they jump high. Like run fast, jump high. No joke. So when my daughter plays with the ballers, she sees a lot of success, right? She contributes, she helps add value. Um, when she plays with the running angels, though, when she plays with Della Lamb, uh, she's challenged, right? She's pushed. She gets pushed, right? And that's what we want as an athlete. We want to make sure that their children is pushed. I think Cooper Flagg's mom said, "If you're the best person in a gym, find a new gym." So, I mean, loving that adage. But when she plays with the ballers, she can score 20 points. No exaggeration, no hyperbole, no being biased for my kid or anything like that. But when she plays for the ballers, I mean, when she plays for the running angels, Della Lamb, we hope she can get some assists, maybe some good steals, force a turnover, get a block, you know what I mean? Something like that. Like, you got to add value when you're out there. And yeah, there's no moral to that story. That's just a general observation. I don't have a solution or anything. Just where we live in our neighborhood on the outskirts of the city, not a lot of athletes, which is funny because you think people like work on farms and stuff like that, but I don't know. Just a general observation. Trying to set these kids up for success is tiring, and that's my mixed signal for today.
Mix signals.
Going to going to our next segment, back then versus right now. I want to talk about relationships, not necessarily relationships, but what it took to be a family back then versus what it takes to be a family right now. Um, and so back in the day, you had one income, right? Dad worked, mom stayed home with the children. You didn't have a shit ton of options, you know what I mean? And generally, you could afford stuff. Like you didn't even have to look at the price of a lot of shit back then. Because if I had some money on me, I could probably afford it. Nowadays, not so much. I did some digging. And when I say digging, I mean a quick Google search. Okay. So I'm from Kansas City. I'm born in the 80s, raised in the 80s and 90s. So I did a quick Google search here. So I'm going to give you some historical data based off the Google, right? I just went to that first little AI generated thing that it gives you there. I didn't do any deeper diving. Get out of here with that stuff. Okay. I'm just sharing what I found and my interpretation of it. So based on historical context in Kansas City in the 1980s, $100,000 home was a significant middle upper class property during that decade. 100 bands, significant upper middle class in the 80s. Okay. Now, $100,000 could get you a large, well located suburban home in areas like Overland Park or Johnson County. Or it can also get you a high end renovated home in Midtown or the Country Club District, considered to be old money. And this was in the 80s, right? This is when I was born, right? You know what I'm talking about? 100,000 can get you there. Okay. Now let's talk about now. Okay. Now there's no way in hell we gonna survive with one income in this house. No way. Right? So we got two incomes. We ain't got no breathing room. I'm gonna just be honest with you. We gasping for right? No breathing room. Two incomes, okay? We got too many choices. Too many choices. Paralysis by analysis. Too many goddamn choices, be it food, be it TV, be it clothes, be it whatever it is. We got too many fucking options. And that creates conflict. That creates stress. I don't know about your home, but my home, hey, babe, what does this look like? Hey, babe, what do you want to eat today? Hey, babe, what should we watch? Like, it creates conflict in my household. And this is a whole nother story. But everything is a freaking app and a login and a monthly fee, right? And then my wife gets mad at me because I don't remember the fucking password. Well, I don't want to put all my passwords as the same because if they get me, then I'm fucking got. But then you get mad at me because I can't remember a motherfucking password. Excuse the shit out of me. My bad. Back to my Google search though. Not necessarily a great comparison or direct comparison. And once again, this is a Google search, the AI generated response in Google, which does have hyperlinks that I also don't click. So miss me with that. Okay. That being said, in 2026, finding a $100,000 house in Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas is primarily focused on, but not limited to, the urban core, specifically neighborhoods like 64130. Now, I cannot make this shit up. That is literally the zip code that I grew up in. Born and raised, 64130. Kansas City, Missouri. Grits and gravy. Okay. 130 64127, 64128, and 64126. Inner city areas where I come from. $100,000. That's what it can get you. So the house that I grew up in the hood, remember at the beginning when I was talking about the basket, I grew up in the hood. $100,000 to live in the hood. 40 years later, God fucking damn, inflation has done a number on my city, my town, my folks. Okay. And then one thing says numerous listings are near 71 Highway. If you guys know Kansas City, you know 71 was built so white folks didn't have to stop in the hood, so they could just get right through. All right, and then many of these homes at this price point come as is. As is. You ever bought some shit as is? That's the super sketch, right? Man. And once again, I don't have the solution, just a general observation that I'm sharing with you guys, sharing my perspective. I don't have the solution, okay? But what I say is then versus now is we gained a ton of access, right? We got information at the palm of our hand. Anything you want to know, anything you desire, you can get some sort of general information at the palm of your hands. Now, we also have to curate and sift through misinformation, right? Some niggas is out here throwing you off the trail intentionally, right? Sprinkling that misinformation in there to keep you running in circles, for lack of better words, all right? What we missed, what we lost is simplicity, right? The ability to just turn off. You know what I mean? TV used to go off. It used to end, right? Now we are always bombarded with alerts. Like I just heard an alert. I hope that shows up on camera. That wasn't played. We're always bombarded with alerts, with stimulus, with dopamine hits, like constantly. You just never get to cut off, right? Like, only way I can record these right now is because I get off of work early on Fridays. And as long as my job continues to let me get off of work early on Fridays, I intend to keep giving you this content. But I just get that one little break where the kids ain't here. And I don't have to do anything per se. Actually, that's a lie. I still got a ton of shit to do. There's laundry sitting on the ottoman right now. Kids' laundry on the ottoman. My laundry in the foot of our bed. There's stuff to be done, okay? I don't even want to show you my house. But I got this one little sliver of time where I can come here and give you this information and try to share with you. We are so bogged down with media and information just throwing shit at you. Wazza, like Magic Johnson, wazza, wazza, right? We lost the ability to turn off, right? And everything, everything everything is a subscription model, right? Like, how many subscriptions do you have for TV? I'll wait.
Vecinos.
Speaking of TV, right, and subscriptions, I want to cut to our next segment, which is this ain't normal, right? Just because it's common doesn't mean it's okay. Just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's okay, right? This is not normal. And what that is subscriptions and hidden costs and free trials that I forget to fucking cancel. Free trials that I forget to fucking cancel, and now I'm paying for this, and they calling it credit card like you didn't agree to it. Yes, you did, right? That's another story for another day. You know, being working at a bank, that's a conversation that I hear and see often. But subscriptions, when did this subscription model come? And why is it here? Actually, I know why it's here, because it's a great business model, right? As somebody who posts on the internet and like YouTube and things like that, if I can get y'all to subscribe, right? Look at the parody. If I can get y'all to subscribe, or sign up for Patreon and buy me a cup of coffee and all of the things that, if you want to do that, absolutely. But right, when did it turn to this? You know what I mean? Like everything. I got a list here of subscription models that I pay for. Right. And then I Googled a separate list of like the most common subscription models. Okay. So the subscriptions that I have right now: kids sports, Kids sports. Okay, my son and my daughter, it costs me a monthly fee for them to play sports, right? Like monthly, and it's pretty significant. As I mentioned, my daughter plays competitive basketball on a travel team, so I have to pay that monthly subscription, pay for travel, pay to get in tournaments. Kids sports. I'm gonna do a whole episode on kids sports, and I'm gonna bring my wife in for that because she pays all the things and does all the stuff. So I'm gonna bring her in for that. Um, Free trials, you know what I mean? Just all these fucking free trials. It's that thing where you got all these different mustaches and personalities. You creating all these emails so you can keep getting free trials. Free trials that I sign up for and forget to cancel, right? Like one of my friends, he's an artist. He posts his raps or his music on Apple Music, and I don't have Apple Music. So I said I got a free trial, 3-month free trial for Apple Music that I need to make sure that I cancel. Right? I was like, hey Siri, remind me to cancel Apple Music. All these Apple devices, hope none of them are listening. Food, right? The Door Dashes or the Factors or the meal preps food subscription models, pets, fucking Chewy or even PetSmart or any of them, bringing my dogs food regularly. You know what I mean? Not me, but I asked my wife. Makeups, applications. The application that I'm using to record this right now, Riverside, $30 a month application just to record this. Okay. Video games, PlayStation, Xbox, right? You can probably see this Xbox right there. I have a PS5 at Xbox. Paying for Game Pass for Xbox, PlayStation Plus for PlayStation, and that's just for the consoles. That don't include like Call of Duty, the Battle Pass, or the constant microtransactions and Fortnites and all of these things. Like it's video games. Okay, Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime. I got no complaints there. Keep on doing what you're doing, buddy. Amazon Prime. I got a package I'm waiting on today, and another one tomorrow with that Prime subscription. And then this last one, it pisses me off. Google Cloud Storage, iCloud storage, right? Like just storage. I got too many fucking videos and pictures on my phone that I gotta pay for storage. You know what I mean? Gigabytes, terabytes here or there. Monthly, $2 here, $10 here, like that. I'm sorry. Let me recenter. Okay. So those are mine, the ones that I pay for. Looking at the most common subscriptions, quick Google search, top of the Google, the AI response. Gemini gave me these. I don't want to hear it. Most common subscriptions are dominated by Amazon Prime with 64% of customers. Like I said, okay. And then we get into streaming services like Netflix, and then they go down the list of streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney, and I have a multitude of those, right? Like I pay for all of those individually. Like what happened to just paying for fucking cable TV? Like, geez. Then it gets into things I didn't even consider, like Sam's Club, Costco, shit like that. Insurance. You know what I mean? Insurance, right? The most popular are video streams. And then I get into like music, cloud storage. Like I said, fucking pisses me off. And then boxes and specialty like HelloFresh, BarkBox, things like that. The question I have is like, why is this shit normal? Like, this is not normal, and it shouldn't be normal, right? It shouldn't be okay. The reason it's normal is because convenience. We lazy. I'm lazy. All my bills are set up on autopay. They come out automatically. We poor. We broke. Inflation has ruined every fucking thing. So I could pay a small little bit right now, or I could pay for it all up front. Like it's, yeah, convenience, right? And the thing is the big businesses benefit from this. They gon' nickel and dime us to death. It's the fucking slow death that we don't even realize we dying because they just pulling us here, pulling us there. I literally am afraid to find out how many subscriptions I have. My wife gets on my head about that shit all the time. But it's like I said, it's convenient, right? Like that's what we do, right? But just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. Okay? This is not normal. Just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. Which is going to lead me to my next segment, standing on it. stand on business, right? I stand on that. Like I don't gotta be moved. You're not gonna move me on this. Okay? And that is, we not bad with money. We not bad with money. We just overworked and underpaid. And I know that I'm not bad with money because I'm a fucking 100 millionaire in Grand Theft Auto. In 10 years, I became a 100 millionaire. Okay? Maybe I shouldn't have invested 10 years in the Grand Theft Auto. Or maybe I should have invested more in the Grand Theft Auto. I know a bunch of streamers who probably made a few mil off of Grand Theft Auto. But that's neither here nor there. In Grand Theft Auto, I can get multiple passive income streams. Multiple passive income streams, right? Whereas not in Grand Theft Auto, we have to exchange our time for money, right? We got to exchange our time for money, and time is finite as we know it today, as it stands today. Time is finite, and exchanging your time for money, you're going to lose every time. You're going to lose until you can create multiple income streams from multiple places. You got to exchange your time for money. You got to go to a work and fulfill someone else's dream, right? While they go out and hit the golf course. You feel me? The American dream right now is microtransactions. I talked about this in the previous segment with subscriptions, but like I used to play NBA 2K, right? NBA 2K, my career, my player. Oh my God, I fucking loved it. Like when it first came out, it was pure. It was chef's kiss. Now it's essentially pay to play. Like it's like, in order to get your character better, you have to grind for VC, which is virtual currency, or you can pay for VC, right? And instantly get your character better. That's the problem. That's the model of the world right now, right? Like I can grind for that VC or I can pay. But if I can't afford to pay, I'ma never get that VC. I'ma never get my player to 99 as quick as these other people who can afford to pay for it, right? Like, and we all just playing a real life version of my player in NBA 2K. And I'm just out here grinding for that VC. And by the time I get my person to 85, the goalpost is changed, right? A new game is out. There's a new game to be played. And it's freaking, it's reality right now. That's the world that we live in. And it's, I don't know what it is. I don't have the answer, right? But I want to put this into perspective, okay? Quick Google search. VC prices range from $1.99 to $150, okay? Upgrading your player to an overall 85, which is mid, is approximately 200 VC. Or I'm sorry, 200,000 VC. 200,000 VC costs $50. Okay. This is on top of a $70, $80 game, right? If you want to get your player to 99, which is ultimately the goal every time you play the 2K, my player, it runs you about 360 VC, where 700,000 VC, actually, we'll just go here, 450,000 VC cost $99. So that's an additional $100 to $150 just to get your customer or just to get your character up to 99. And that's just with player attributes to get them to 99. That doesn't come into play that VC also has a bunch of what word am I looking for? Like shit. Aesthetics. Like you can get like it's not just skill based. Like you can get clothes and you can get shoes. Like you can get Jordans and Nikes and Adidas in the motherfucking game. And that also costs VC. So if you want to make your player look aesthetically pleasing, that's your VC is going to take a hit for that. Right. So if you pay to play, essentially that's how it's always been. It's always been pay to play. But, I'm going to say this. The American dream is now subscription based. It's microtransactions. It's free to play, right? They get you that. It's free to play. You can come play Fortnite. Oh, yeah, come on. Download that bitch for free, right? But then you see Bart Simpson running around. You see Goku running around, Patrick Mahomes. You're like, oh, shit. How do I get Patrick Mahomes? How do I get Dwight from The Office, right? It ain't free to play no more, right? Like, that's the world we live in. You can come in bare bones with that brown t-shirt and those gray sweatpants on NBA 2K. But if you want to get a little bit of drip, a little bit of swag, you're going to be grinding all your life unless you can pay for it, right? Financial literacy won't protect you from this system. It will help you survive it, but it won't protect you, right? The system is set up and working as it is intended, right? And now that's a handful of people are getting a little bit of success, a little bit of acclaim. We want to make America great again. We want to make America great again. America hasn't been great for a lot of people for a long time, right? So you select few who are trying to make it great again, and those of you who thought it was great, it hasn't really been great. If you look at it, if you lift up the veil, it's not been great for a long time for a lot of folks, right? And that's not based off of race, sexual orientation, or, nationality. That's just based off of people, right? It's not about black or white or red or blue. The system is broken. And I stand on that. All right. Let me take you into our segment, which is a confessional, right? I got a confession to make. I thought that me healing my trauma would make it easier to parent these kids. I thought that healing my trauma would make it easier to parent these kids. And if I'm being 100% honest, it's made it harder because these kids don't give a fuck about my trauma. The security that I craved earlier that I was talking about, they don't give a fuck about that because that's all they know. Me not having tennis shoes and wanting cool shoes as a kid, so where now all I do is get them the latest, the greatest cool shoes. They don't give a fuck about none of that, right? Healing all my childhood trauma, playing the games that I wanted to play, doing the things that I wanted to do. They don't give a fuck about none of it, right? Essentially, probably creating their own trauma. Me creating their own trauma by trying to cater to these needs and these things that they don't give a fuck about, right? But the thing is like, I don't want my kids to struggle, right? Like I said, I'm from the inner city. I'm from a area where, we didn't have a lot of options. And so I moved out here, try to create my kids some options, give them some situations to where they can have a choice, a say-so in the matter, and they don't care. This is life for them. And that's what it's supposed to be. Like, this is what I created, right? I don't want them to struggle, but I don't want them to be soft either. I don't want them to be these fucking iPad children or whatever the fuck they call them. Like, I expect them to have some character. Like, how do you build that character, right? Like, can they not struggle, but also be calloused? You know what I mean? Like, can they, like my wife Stormy, she took them to volunteer like a soup kitchen, you know what I mean? Where like they was working with the homeless and things like that to show them that, the situation that y'all have, not everybody has the situation. There's kids who look like you, who don't have the situation, who don't have a different pair of shoes to wear every day, who don't have a fucking, all of the accessibility to the things that y'all have, right? But like, I don't know if that's the right answer. I don't know, right? I'm just being honest. Like, I don't know. I thought that me fixing myself and the things that and the stability that I craved as a child, I thought if I created that type of environment that these kids would be okay. But we got a whole new set of problems, like there's brand new traumas that we don't even know about. I don't know if it's true or not, but I seen a post where there was a lady from like, and forgive me, I'm probably going to butcher it, but like Japan, maybe, where they don't have a word for trauma in that country that translates to that, because they're like, what the fuck is trauma? She's like, I seen my parents get taken away from me and shot and killed like when I was 5 years old. What the fuck is trauma? You know what I mean? To where my kids are like, oh, I didn't get the game that I wanted, or I didn't get the toy that I wanted, to where like, oh, now everything is ruined. Like, and once again, I don't have the answers, guys. I don't, right? I know there's a part of me that would say whoop their ass. You know what I mean? That's my philosophy as the how I was raised. I got my ass whooped. You know what I mean? But that wasn't the answer. I remember getting my ass whooped like, damn, why is she so mad at me? Why is he so mad at me? You know what I mean? Like, what did I do? And I realize now as an adult, when I'm whooping my kids' ass, I'm not whooping their ass because of like I'm angry at something. I'm stressed out. Now you done did something to put it on top of that, right? Like, so then that's not the answer. You know what I mean? Like, can you talk with them? Can you reason it? Gentle parenting, right? I've tried that shit too. That's not the answer. My kids take gentle parenting as a weakness. Like they think I'm their friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I apologize. I'm venting. That's what I do. I don't have the answers. You know what I mean? But that's our show for today. You know, this is Mixed Signals. This is your boy Cedric. And if you like this type of content, if you felt it was real, if it resonated with you just a little bit, you know, like, subscribe. Fuck, subscribe. Talk about subscription models. Like, subscribe. Just share it with somebody. Say, man, this dude's talking. He's talking that talk. You know what I mean? I appreciate you.